Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel Droplets of Nectar. Today we will be seeing the bird view of 6th chapter entitled Dhyan Yoga. This 6th chapter is having total 47 shlokas. We will not be going into any shloka in depth. So we will be only seeing the flowchart study of whole 47th shloka in this chapter. In later videos, we will be going into the depths of all the shlokas. So in this 6th chapter, it starts with Arjun asking the question and Krishna saying in the first 9 shloka, advancing in Ashtanga Yoga is told. In the last chapter, Krishna has told there are 2 ways of performing action. One is Nishkam Karma Yoga and other is Ashtanga Yoga. So in this chapter, Krishna will be more focusing on Ashtanga Yoga. How one can attain liberation by performing Ashtanga Yoga. Krishna will be saying how can one rise to Yoga Aruruksh stage to Yoga Rudh stage. Yoga Aruruksh stage is the beginner in the yoga and Yoga Arudh stage is the advanced stage of the yoga. So it starts with first second shloka. Yoga and sannyas are the same. Krishna very clearly explains here how yoga and sannyas are non-different. Then in the third and fourth shloka, Krishna says there are 2 levels of Ashtanga Yoga. Firstly, the Yoga Ruruksha stage, that is the beginning stage, and what is a symptom, what is the procedure of being in that stage. The last one is the Yoga Arudh stage, advanced stage of the yoga. Then in the 5th and 6th shloka, Krishna says mind can act both as a friend and also as enemy. Then in the 7th and the 9th stage, 9th shloka, Krishna says what are the symptoms of a person in the Yoga Rudh stage. When one has controlled his mind to the fullest extent, mind has become his friend, and then how one can rise to the Yoga Rudh stage. Then in the 10th shloka to 32nd shloka, it is a series of shloka explaining the stages of Ashtanga Yoga practice. How one can perform Ashtanga Yoga very clearly it is explained in these shlokas. 10th to 17th shloka, Krishna is saying practicing stage of Ashtanga Yoga. Krishna is very clearly explaining what are the basic practice, basic recommendation and the goal of Ashtanga Yoga. Then in the 18th to 23rd shloka, Krishna says about the perfectional stage of Ashtanga Yoga, how one can get fully purified and reach to the highest stage of performing Ashtanga Yoga. There are various aspects of it and realization in various stages. So all these are explained in these shlokas. Then in the 24th to 32nd shloka, Krishna explains how one can attain perfection in Ashtanga Yoga and how one can realize and see the super soul situated in his heart. Krishna says, Arjuna, O Arjun, see, understand the method to attain the Yoga Rudh stage. This is the success formula of bringing the mind back. As your mind gets diverted from your action, bring it back. Bring it back to your action. We can also see in our life that our mind gets deviated from the action which we are performing. So we have to bring our fickle mind to that particular stage. Then in the 27th to 30th shloka, the platforms of Brahma Bhut stage is being described. Realizing the Atma, the Brahma Sansparsha, the realizing the Paramatma, and seeing Krishna everywhere. How one can see Krishna everywhere and be Krishnaized all the time. Then, in the last shloka of this particular section, Krishna says in 31st and 32nd shloka, the actions of a perfect yogi. Then in the 33rd shloka, it is a 33rd to 36th shloka is a series of verses describing the necessity to control the mind. Why we have to control the mind? So in 33rd and 34th shloka, Arjun explains his concern that Ashtanga Yoga is impractical due to fickle mind. Arjun says he can control the wind, but to control the mind is a very difficult task. And hence Krishna in 35th shloka gives the conclusion how to control the mind. Krishna says by practice and detachment one can control his mind and bring it back to his task. In 36th shloka, Krishna gives the conclusion mind control is must for yoga. Without controlling one's own mind, one cannot do any kind of yoga. Arjun then inquires about the fate of a fallen yogi. What will happen to that particular yogi? Yoga Bhrashta, where he will go? Whether he will be a total failure or is there any chance for him? Then the next stage, the destination of an unsuccessful yogi, is described in the verse 37 to 45. So after the Arjuna's inquiry, Krishna very clearly explains and gives satisfaction, gives us the very clear answer that for a yogi there is no misfortune even in failure. Even if one fails to perform his yogi's procedure, even if he is half performing his procedure or incomplete in his procedure, he is always a winner. Fate of a fallen yogi after short and long practice. He says that a yogi will resume his yogic procedure and attain perfection in the next life. Then finally in the 46th and 42nd, 7th shloka, last two shloka, Krishna glorifies Bhakti Yogi, the topmost yogi. Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham mad bhakte antaratmanaha. A yogi is a greater than tapasvi, the jnani and karmi. And hence a Bhakti Yogi who serves Krishna is the best of all yogis. So if one had to perform the yoga and become the best, become the champion, become the topper in that particular section, one have to perform Bhakti Yoga only by controlling the mind. Hare Krishna. In this way, this 47 shloka in the chapter 6 Dhyan Yoga ends. Hare Krishna.